You're 6, maybe 7. An adult is standing over you. Their voice is low. Stop, or I'll give you something to cry about. And you did. You stopped. Not because the feeling left, because you learned, fast, that the feeling was the problem. The lump in your throat became a thing to swallow. The tears became a scene to prevent. You became a silent holder of big feelings. But that's not the story of a flaw. It's the origin story of something you were never taught you hated. You still hear it, don't you? Not always out loud, sometimes just as a look, the slight pause, the careful tone. Are you okay? You're not going to cry, are you? And the old lesson surfaces. Quicken, contain, apologize. You've been managing this your whole life, so you got good at it. Managing the feeling before anyone else could see it. You learned to blink a certain way, to press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, to excuse yourself before the wave hit. Crying into your pillow, face down, so the sounds won't escape. You built an entire system, invisible to everyone, running constantly. And it costs you. Not just in the moments, the meetings, the arguments, the goodbyes at airports, but afterwards, the low hum of exhaustion that follows a day of feeling everything and showing none of it. The way you go home and sit in your car for a few minutes before you can walk inside, just to let it out, just to breathe. That's the part nobody sees. But underneath the exhaustion, there's something worse. The question you've never said out loud, that maybe I'm not deep. Maybe I'm just difficult. Maybe the people who told me to stop were right. And every time you swallowed it, every time you said, I'm fine with that lump in your throat, you taught the people around you that you didn't need them to be gentle. You taught them you could handle it. To be safe, you have to be numb. But to be you have to feel. Because you also know, and this is the part they never see, that when someone you love is falling apart, you are the one who stays. You feel it with them, fully. You don't manage it away. There's a particular kind of weight in carrying something you don't have a name for. You can't set it down. You can't explain it. You just carry it and call it a flaw, because that's the only word anyone ever gave you. But what if the word was always wrong? Some people move through the world with a kind of natural distance, not cold, just insulated. Feelings arrive, register, pass. They process from behind the glass. You don't have the glass. You never did. What moves through the world moves through you. The grief in a stranger's voice, the particular light on a late afternoon, the way someone laughs when they're trying not to cry. It enters. All of it, without any filter. That's not a malfunction. That's not immaturity. That's not something to fix. It's the nature of a porous heart, open by nature, not broken open, just open. Not a wound, a way of being alive. You were always this. The room that sent you away for crying didn't create a flaw. It just never gave you the word. And without the word, you borrowed theirs. Too sensitive, too much, too emotional. Those were their words for something they didn't understand. You wore them anyway, for years. Put them down, they were never yours. And the exhaustion, the blinking, the swallowing, the sitting in your car before you walk inside, that was never proof you were broken. It was proof you were working too hard to be something you were never meant to be. But here's what your porous heart actually does when no one's keeping score. You're talking to someone, a stranger maybe, or a friend, a checkout line, a waiting room, a bench somewhere. They mention something offhand, a loss, a hard year, a thing they haven't told many people, and your face changes before you can stop it. Not pity, not sympathy. Something warmer than that, recognition, empathy. And they see it. They keep talking, longer than they meant to. Something in them relaxes, the shoulders, the voice, the careful choosing of words. They stop pretending they're okay, not because you asked, but because your face told them they didn't have to. You didn't do anything. You didn't fix anything. It's just that there was no filter between you and them. And something in them knew, before a single word confirmed it. That's not a flaw that slipped through. That's the whole thing. You still feel the lump in your throat. You always will. But it's not a problem to be solved anymore. It's not a scene to prevent. It's the first signal of a porous heart, still open, still feeling, still alive to everything it was never meant to shut out. You were 6, maybe 7, and when someone told you to stop, you couldn't. Why? Because you were already this. You didn't know then. But now you have the word. If this video gave language to something you've carried without a name, leave it in the comments. And send this to someone who's never had a name for why they feel everything. They need to hear this. And then they'll know it too.